You're listening to The Modern Mainframe, BMC's intelligent C optimization and transformation podcast, covering the latest trends and issues in the mainframe, and how BMC AMI solutions can help you make change your competitive advantage. Hey everyone, welcome to The Modern Mainframe. I'm Matt Dallaire. Today we're talking about something new in ABEND resolution and how automated notification and trouble ticket creation help to speed up issue resolution. Joining me today are BMC Lead Product Manager Mark Schettenhelm and Principal Solution Engineer Roland Kinsman. Mark, Roland, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
So Mark, there have been some interesting developments with BMC AMI DevX Abend-AID recently. We know that it has provided mainframe fault analysis for decades. It's been the go-to tool for developers for fault resolution. But tell me about these new notifications.
Yeah, Matt. When developers think of Abend-AID, they think of it as what they turn to when they learn of an abending program, right? And that's okay. It's good there's a place to go that will tell you exactly what went wrong and, more importantly, what you can do to fix it. But we were looking at the turn to part of that to see if we could shorten that time to open up Abend-AID, because you have to learn of the Abend, and then you have to go to Abend-AID, bring it up, and then search for it. And we thought we could shorten that cycle. So while it may not take too long in today's environment with the mainframe supporting so much, even seconds matter. So we're providing a way for developers to set up webhooks that will send them notifications automatically in like Teams or Slack, or even an email if they want. I don't know about you, but I get too many emails, so I'm fully into Teams. The advantage of having this be in chat, or really this is ChatOps, is that you can set up this webhook and say anything for this program or these Abend codes or my user ID. You can go to our documentation and see all the different things, but you can set that up and that you can then register that webhook so that it'll report just to you in your chat stream, or even better to a team, so that you could, for your team, you could set it up to report on any of the applications you support, whether they be in test or production. Then everyone sees a notification of the Abend, and it will list the program, Abend code, date, time, all that, and give a link to the full report so they can go and see it in the web viewer. A team could get a message of an Abend in test or production, and one of the developers could respond that, I've got it. I'll fix this one. And then they could use their team chat to say to someone, hey, could you try that again? Or I need this data changed. Or they could work through that. Or at the end, they could report that it's been fixed and everyone knows. It ties that team together and it gives the communication so that what I like is that you can jump in at any time and see the full conversation. And it really makes Abend-AID then like another member of your team in your team chat. It just has someone always out there looking for it and letting you know. And it shortens that cycle in test or production.
Right. So you may say, oh my goodness, it's going to fill up my chat and I'm going to just get slammed
right.
messages. But you can fine tune that so that it only reports on certain programs, certain Abend codes, as you said, job name, job owner, maybe you only care about the production scheduler and so on. And it also handles duplicate suppression, so you're not going to get slammed.
Right, so you get just the ones that your team or yourself wants.
So Mark, I was reading a blog that you recently posted on BMC Community, and I'll link to it in the show notes, and it tells how to automatically create a trouble ticket. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yes. Like many of the solutions that create trouble tickets, like BMC Helix, ITSM, ServiceNow, Jira, they have a way to automatically create trouble tickets through an interface like an API. You send the information and it will create the ticket for you. This new Abend-AID webhook can be used to integrate with them, and I talk about it in my blog post you mentioned. I give some links to go and explain how to set those up so that an Abend could occur and it creates the trouble ticket. Now, the advantage of using the Abend-AID notification is that we can include a link to the web viewer. So instead of just, an Abend occurred, we not only tell you the program user ID and all that, but a link will be right in the trouble ticket so you can go right to the report. And recently we made it even better where we have an API that can provide the diagnostic summary. That's the first page of an Abend-AID report. And in many cases, that's really all you need. It explains exactly what went wrong. So you can code it up so that the webhook can fire it off. You have a pipeline that goes up and gets the API to get the diagnostic summary and use that. So the trouble ticket then is created, has the information on program, user ID, date, time, all that, but it will also have the diagnostic summary.
I like to say for probably 8 out of 10 Abend-AID reports that you look at, that first page of the diagnostic is all you need.
Right. So you think about that. You get the trouble ticket. Today, it's like, here's an Abend. All right, now I have to go over to Abend-AID and go and find and get it. As opposed to this thing will create it for you, and you'll have the diagnostic summary right there. And if you do need some more information, one click, it'll go right to the report. You can get more. And this, like I started saying, is it really cuts down that time for resolution. It really helps your MTTR, your mean time to resolution score.
And it fits in with the automate everything angle of DevOps. You're actually automating a very menial task of going through and finding information.
That's very insightful, Matt, because DevOps, and I think we use that term so frequently, we don't stop to think about it, is that melding of developer and ops. And here is a perfect handoff from ops to the developer.
Right.
And it really combines together with this automation.
So, Roland, this can fit into a deploy pipeline, right? How would that work?
Right. So we've heard from developers that it's a very delicate time when you put something into production. And BMC AMI DevX code pipeline, formerly known as ISPW, is very good at automatically deploying mainframe code into production. But once you've done all the testing and you're confident that it's good, you want to know immediately if something goes wrong before you.
Well, Roland, I think what you're saying is we always, no matter how confident we are, there are those deploys that we do that we want to know if there's a problem, right?
Exactly.
We're still a little concerned.
For example, what if you're making a structure change to a database, adding a column or changing the type of data? That's a high-risk change, and you do your best to repair, but you can't always anticipate errors. So if something goes wrong, you want to know immediately, day or night. And that's where the DevX code pipeline comes in, where it's actually a webhook that can start a pipeline and actually create a webhook for Abend-AID. So as you put code into production, DevX code pipeline can set up an Abend-AID webhook that has a specific expiration, a timeout, so to speak, so that maybe for 5 days, if the code you're putting into production falls over, you're gonna be notified. And this is a great example of implementing system reliability engineering, SRE, in the mainframe environment.
So I really like this. There's a lot in there. The timeout aspect I like because I may say, for 2 days or so, I want to be on like high alert for it. And afterwards, if it's been fine, it's going to continue to be fine. And I want to know, I don't want to have to go back in there. It automatically deletes it. And I like the concept of automating it so much that a webhook can do an API that creates another webhook, all that done automatically at the time of deploy. And set this up, and then it's so automated, it will then delete itself. And
Right.
I mean, that's high automation brought to the mainframe.
So it's nothing you have to worry about. It just happens.
And I like the way it goes to our developer anxiety about these big deploys. And I will know about something before the trouble ticket hits me. That I can get it, and with having it go to something like Teams or Slack, it can even go on a mobile device too. Not that we like to be tethered, but sometimes we are. But I can get that notification, be on it, see that, like we talked about, I can see the diagnostic summary. I can go look at the report. I could be in there looking at all that, figuring it out right way so that if they say to us, do you have to do a fallback or do you have to prepare a fix? Before the trouble ticket comes, you already have your answer.
Exactly. And that's what SRE is all about, system reliability engineering.
Yeah, and it really takes the automation that Abend-AID pioneered back in the early 70s to automate dump reading and really brought it into the modern world of DevOps.
You took the words away from me. I was going to say it's, going into its 50s, it's still adapting, it's still innovating.
Exactly. And it just comes from really listening to your customers, paying attention to what they're doing, and anticipating some of these trends. So that's how Abend-AID has evolved. And we have some more things along this planned. But this came out, it's been out for a few months. It's still exciting. And we'll be getting some interesting stories from customers using it very soon.
And you also wrote a couple of blog posts about it when it came out, so I'll link those in the show notes and some other assets people can check out and learn more. So, Mark, Roland, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for talking about Abend-AID.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. Thanks for having us.
And thanks to everyone listening. We'll talk to you next time on The Modern Mainframe. You're listening to The Modern Mainframe, BMC's intelligent C optimization and transformation podcast, covering the latest trends and issues in the mainframe and how BMC AMI solutions can help you make change your competitive advantage.